The power's been out for 11 hours. Your phone died at hour 3. Outside, something that used to be your neighborhood sounds wrong. Car alarms, distant shouting, a siren that started 40 minutes ago and just stopped mid-wail, like someone pulled the plug. You need to move. You need water. You need a plan. You reach under your bed for that pre-made survival kit you bought off Amazon 2 years ago. You unzip it. Inside, you find a whistle that wouldn't scare a squirrel, a compass the size of a quarter with a needle that spins like it's having a seizure, and 17 adhesive bandages. 17. Like the apocalypse is just a series of paper cuts. That kit cost you $60, and it might just cost you your life. Here's what most people won't admit. The survival gear industry is a marketing machine that sells fear in a zippered pouch. 80% of prepackaged survival kits are stuffed with filler, cheap junk designed to look impressive on a product photo and fall apart the moment you actually need it. FEMA says roughly 60% of Americans have zero emergency plan. Zero. And a lot of the other 40%, they think that shrink-wrapped Amazon kit counts. It doesn't. But here's the good news. You can build a kit, a real kit, one that covers the actual ways people die in a crisis for under $100. $97 and change to be exact. I've built one. I've tested pieces of it in weather I'd rather forget. And today, we're going to walk through every single item, why it's there, what it replaces, and the one piece near the end that almost nobody includes but changes the entire equation. Let's start where death starts. The survival world lives by something called the rule of threes. 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter in harsh conditions, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's not a suggestion. That's a biological countdown. And notice the order. Shelter comes before water, water comes before food. Almost everyone gets this backwards, and that backwards thinking is exactly what those garbage kits exploit. They're loaded with granola bars and water pouches because food photographs well. Meanwhile, you freeze to death on night 1. So we're building this kit the way your body actually fails, priority by priority. Component 1, the edge, a fixed blade knife. Not a folding knife, not a multi-tool with 14 attachments you'll never touch. A real, full-tang, fixed blade. Moranif Companion, roughly $15. That's not a typo. $15 for a knife that bushcraft instructors across Scandinavia have trusted for decades. This is your shelter builder, your fire prep tool, your food processor, your self-defense option, your I need to cut through a seatbelt right now answer. A folding knife has a hinge. A hinge is a point of failure. In a crisis, points of failure kill. Get the fixed blade. Component 2, the spark. 2 Bic lighters and 1 ferrocerium rod. For the version of you at 2 a.m. when the grid drops and you're scrolling your phone on the last 12% of battery, looking for exactly this kind of information, future you will be grateful. Present you just has to tap a button. Component 5, the Mend Kit, a DIY first aid assembly. Skip the pre-made ones. Same logic as the pre-made survival kits. They're padded with things you don't need and missing things you do. Here's what actually matters. Israeli bandage, about $8. A real compression bandage for real bleeding, not a Band-Aid. A cat-style tourniquet or a good replica, $7 to $12. Butterfly closures, medical tape, a small tube of antibiotic ointment, and ibuprofen. All of that runs about $15 total when you source it individually. And I'll tell you what's not in any pre-made kit that should be. Super glue. Regular off-the-shelf cyanoacrylate super glue. Field medics have used it to close wounds since Vietnam. It's not ideal, it's not sterile, and a doctor would wince. But when you're 40 miles from the nearest ER, and the nearest ER might not exist anymore, a clean wound sealed with super glue beats an open wound every single day. Component 6, the beam. A small LED headlamp, 10 bucks. Not a flashlight, a headlamp. Because in a real situation, both your hands need to be doing something. Building shelter, treating a wound, sorting gear, and a flashlight either sits on the ground, pointing the wrong direction, or lives in your mouth like a dog carrying a stick. Headlamp frees your hands. Get one with a red light mode. Red light preserves your night vision and doesn't broadcast your position to everyone within a half mile. Darkness in a grid-down scenario isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. A $10 headlamp makes you functional when everyone else is stumbling blind. Now. Component 7, and this is the one I mentioned at the top, the piece almost nobody packs. Cash. $40 in small bills, 5s and 1s. When the grid goes down, card readers die. A TMS become metal furniture. Venmo becomes a word that used to mean something. But in the first 72 hours of any major disruption, before things go fully sideways, cash still talks. You can buy water. You can buy a ride. You can bribe your way through a checkpoint that isn't supposed to exist. During Hurricane Katrina, people with cash in hand were buying generators, fuel, and food from neighbors, while everyone else stood in FEMA lines that stretched for blocks. Paper money is a survival tool, and it weighs nothing. $40 in small bills, folded into a waterproof bag, tucked into your kit. Not for the apocalypse 6 months in, for the first 72 hours, the golden window where everything is still negotiable. So let's add it up. Knife, 15. Fire kit, 10. Water filter, 20. Shelter system, 15. First aid, 15. Headlamp, 10. Cash, 40. That's $125, but let's be honest, you can shave that down easily. Cheaper headlamp, skip one lighter, find the tarp on sale. I've gotten mine under $97, and I've seen people do it for $88. Here's the deeper logic of why this works. Every item in this kit addresses a specific kill vector: exposure, dehydration, blood loss, infection, darkness, and the collapse of digital infrastructure. That's not a gear list, that's a threat map. And when you build a kit to answer threats instead of to fill a bag, you stop carrying dead weight and start carrying a plan. Think back to that opening scene, that useless Amazon kit, the spinning compass, the parade of Band-Aids. Now, picture instead reaching under that bed and pulling out a bag you built yourself. You know every item. You know why it's there. You know how it works because you chose it, tested it, packed it with your own hands. That's not a bag. That's a decision you already made when you were calm, clear, and thinking straight, sitting here, ready to execute when you won't be any of those things. Preparedness isn't about paranoia. It's about making the hard choices early so you don't have to make them panicked. The people who survive aren't the strongest or the richest. They're the ones who decided ahead of time that they were going to. And if you've got your own budget kit build or you've tested something that surprised you, drop it in the comments. Seriously, the best gear knowledge I've ever gotten didn't come from a product page. It came from someone who actually used the thing when it mattered. Share what you know. If this changed how you think about your gear bag, subscribe. Because the next time the lights flicker and don't come back on, you're going to want this channel in your feed. Trust me on that one.